What's up, Totem Pole Nation? Welcome to Lambo and Matt's Road of Sports. And sadly, today we have to go into the Bills absolutely destroying my Cowboys on Sunday. Now, there's a lot to talk about. Obviously, there's a lot of opinions by both of us, him being a Cowboys hater, me being a Cowboys diehard. There's a lot of opinions going on, all right? I have a feeling that we might not be too far disconnected in this conversation if it's just about the Bills game. And then obviously their record on the road, their record on grass. We'll get into all of that. Don't expect this to be a super high energy podcast from me on this episode, but I will say that if you want some high energy merch like what he's wearing right there, totempolenation.com is the place to go to get that stuff. Hats, t-shirts, hoodies, whatever you need. Good prices. Shout out to Sideline Sports Network. As always, let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, what have I told you, all you Cowboy fans that are talking to me, trying to call me and text me? You're so hyped because y'all beating the Eagles was y'all Super Bowl. Now, I know I picked y'all to beat the Eagles because I had common sense to know that that Eagles defense was not the answer to stopping y'all offense. I understand that. But some of you people, some of those nauseating Dallas Cowboy fans come up to me and say, we going to beat Buffalo. We going to beat Buffalo. We going to put up 45 on Buffalo. 45? You're talking about 45 points on an improved Buffalo team with all the injuries they have on defense, and it still shut you out to only one touchdown, which happened in the fourth quarter. Now I'm going to be realistic here. This game is not all on Dak Prescott. This game is on this damn defense right here. The defense at Dan Quinn did not make any adjustments. They ran 3 plays. They ran the same play over and over and over and over and over again. And Michael Parsons was nowhere to be found. What do you have? Maybe 3 tackles? Maybe 2 quarterback pressures? And the stupid penalty from DeMarcus Lawrence talking and yapping his mouth, hit him again. And look what he did. All you had to do, you held Buffalo to a field goal the first drive they had. Oh, no, they're roughing the passer, putting their hands up in there. All that stuff was unnecessary. But when it comes down to it at the end of the day, I keep trying to tell you Cowboy fans, y'all think y'all going to the Super Bowl and NFC Championship game? No. It will never happen as long as I live. To all those Cowboy fans, this is my favorite gift when it comes to the holidays. Y'all losing because y'all are allergic to expectations. Every time you raise the expectation, you put them sky high. You bring them sky down. Every single time it comes to those Dallas Cowboys, they will always let you down. They didn't let you down on Thanksgiving because you played those sorry-ass Commanders. They didn't let you down a couple weeks ago because they had about 5 bye weeks. They played the Panthers. They played the Giants. They played the Jets. All these sorry teams that are not elite competition. They have shown the Dallas Cowboys are 3-4 on the road. The 7-0 at home. To that sorry defense that gave up 35 points against the Seattle Seahawks team without a running back. This is what tells you about the Dallas Cowboys. They always let you down. They always let you down no matter what happens. By the way, Dak Prescott is out the MVP race probably after this game because Brock Purdy or Tyreek Hill or maybe Tua might win the MVP. But when it comes to the Bills, they didn't have to do too much at all because Josh Allen only had 7 passing attempts for under 100 yards and a touchdown. All right? James Cook was the answer. Did you not realize that this is the 3rd time that Buffalo has rushed over 100 yards this season? Or at least for James Cook. I mean, James Cook, 179 yards rushing and 1 touchdown on 25 carries. Buffalo came up with the same formula that the 49ers did to them. The same formula that the Arizona Cardinals did to them as well. They came up with the same thing. All right? Remember, y'all Cowboys fans, remember y'all gave up 228 yards to those sorry Arizona Cardinals team? Y'all remember that too? It is okay. Because I kept trying to tell you, America's team are frauds. They're not going to do nothing in the playoffs. They had a chance to win the division, but they couldn't win this game. What's going to happen to the Cowboys is at the end of the year, they'll make the playoffs. They'll stick at the number 5 seed. and they'll probably lose a road game. They may lose in the first round. They may lose in the second round. But at the end of the day, when it comes to those Cowboys, they are allergic to prosperity. And they will not win a playoff game if they stick at the 5 seed, because I promise you, you don't want to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers if they win the division. And I promise you one thing, you're not going to beat the 49ers or the Eagles in the playoffs, because you have not shown me that you can win a road game or win a road game against a good team. That's all I have to say about the Cowboys. You go ahead, because I kept trying to tell you how about them Cowboys, and that's all I have to say.
Where do I start? Where do I start? Here's where I'll start. The penalties. All right? Dallas Cowboys past 3 weeks have been penalized, whether it's rightfully so or not, regardless of you think that they're the right calls, you don't think they're the right calls, right? Because Micah gets held every single play. He doesn't get any calls. Whatever. That's not the point. The point is that the Dallas defense had more penalty yardage at the end of the first half than we had passing yards. Okay? We had more penalty yards in the first half than we had passing yards. All right? We gave Tony Pollard, now understand we were playing from behind the whole game, so the run game cannot be the center. But Tony Pollard had 50-something yards on 11 carries. 11. 5 yards a carry. Now, I understand averages get swayed by, whether or not there's one big breakout run and then a couple little 2-yard things. Like, I understand all that, right? But 5 yards a carry to give the man the ball 11 times when it seems like he's finally back to a fully healthy Tony Pollard that we hadn't really seen until the past 3 weeks. That was the first thing. On top of that, we talk about more penalties. The first 2 drives of the game for Buffalo, like you mentioned, I personally think that the roughing the passer call was a little soft. Josh pointed at his face mask. D-Law pushed him in the chest. It might have been a little late. I understand that's a judgment call by the ref, so I'm not mad at the ref for calling it. I just wasn't the biggest fan of Josh immediately going to point at his helmet when he got pushed in the sternum. It's not where you got touched, dude. And I understand you gotta sell it. You gotta get the calls. I get it, right? So I'm not mad at the refs for it. But like you said, we were holding them to 3 there. They go on and score a touchdown. Next drive. Couldn't get anything going on offense. Defense back out on the field. Hold them to a punt. And a man who has blocked multiple punts this year left his feet and jumped sideways into the punter. Why? What are we doing? It hurts my brain because I know that this isn't a special teams unit that's not disciplined. We've blocked punts this year. We've had very good special teams play this year. They just forgot what they were doing, I guess. And that's not Dallas Cowboys football, man. And there was a stomach bug going around the locker room and multiple players were questionable and stuff. Guess what? You were questionable, but you put the pads on. You put the pads on, you went onto the field, and you still played like you were sick. If you didn't think you could help the team, don't play. All right? And we were already down a safety and obviously an all-pro in Trayvon Diggs. Now we're down 2 more safeties, which we'll have to see the long-term effects of that. We're also down a linebacker. We're already down a D lineman from the Eagles game in Hankins. So this defense, which at one point in the year was the best, if not top 2 or 3, has now been depleted by injuries, which most teams have. I'm not giving this as an excuse. It's just annoying to see that the guys that we are having step up, we've had Deron Bland stepped up. And what did he do? Broke an NFL record for pick sixes. Other positions, I'm not expecting a 5th-round talent to just go out there and play like an all-pro, but we need something, dude. We couldn't stop the outside run for shit. And then when we do make adjustments to stop the outside run, where do they go with it? Up the gut, right? It's infuriating. This game, like you said, also was not all on Dak. Okay, this game was top to bottom, coaches to the damn people that wash the uniforms need to sit in their rooms at their house with the lights off and reflect on every single thing that these guys did wrong. There was a lot. We all watched the same game. There was a lot they did wrong. All right. Everybody, including Jerry. I hope Jerry goes home and went home and cried himself to sleep last night. Like, that was the most embarrassing. I didn't even watch the fourth quarter. I did not watch the fourth quarter. I knew we needed that touchdown, and I won't go that much longer because I know I'm ranting, but I mean, damn, son, what are we doing? Like, oh my God. It's just, there's so many thoughts in my head. And I had a video for this in case I missed the show, but I can't share my screen given that I'm on my phone right now. So that's unfortunate. Oh, my bad. That's unfortunate. But I had a great video that just gave all my thoughts. I even edited it so it didn't sound so like I put some work into my displeasure with the team yesterday. And honestly, we could do an entire hour episode on this, which we're not going to do, but we're not. But there's no other words to say other than any synonym to the word pain, any synonym you can think of: pain, struggle, suffering, all of it. That's what I've been feeling for the past 24 hours. It's and I also don't want. So obviously, who did we think was going to throw an interception in this game? The guy who's led the league the past 4 years in turnovers, or the MVP caliber player? I thought it was going to be Josh. I put money on Josh throwing an interception. Guess who threw it? Dak. Now, I will also say this. This should not restart the narrative that started last year with Dak. Okay? Because like I said, this was not a just him thing. This was top to bottom, every single player on this field. Like Zach Martin getting hurt. That sucks against such a good D-line that Buffalo has. We put a rookie in there. Like it was just, we were destined for failure. And after that second drive where the punter led to a touchdown, I looked at my dad. I was like, dude, I don't know. Like this might be over quick. That was in the first quarter. I told him, I was like, this might be over pretty quick. And it was. And we both went back upstairs to our rooms, didn't watch the rest of the game after the third quarter. So that's my 7-minute rant of gibberish about the damn Dallas Cowboys. Like, I live and die by this team. And when I tell you, like, going to work this morning, I was just sitting there like just sitting in there like, do I even want to? I don't want to be here. Like, I want to be helping these boys. Like, I am the least qualified person to coach any NFL level of football. I wanted to be in Arlington at the Star, like getting these guys through practice. Like, no Mondays off. We just got our asses kicked. Like, you guys better be on the line. We're running gassers all day, son. All day. I'll let you take it back because I know I just went for a while.
I don't have anything to say more because here was what's happening. I tried to tell you, fans.
Oh, hold on. Sorry. Hold on. We're killing the Bucs. We just beat them with Tom Brady. This is a worse roster.
This ain't Tom Brady.
Last year in the playoffs.
Okay. That's last year. I'm talking about this year. This ain't last year. I'm talking about
this is year. A worse team than last year's Bucs.
You picked the Packers and beat the Bucs.
That has nothing to do with Dallas in the first round of the playoffs. If Dallas plays any team from the NFC South, because there's like a 3-way tie right now, all three of them we are waxing. Now, regardless, whoever it is from the South, which we will be the 5th seed at this point unless the Lions beat us in 2 weeks.
They will. They'll beat y'all.
We'll see. I think that we're going to win. It's going to be a good game, but I obviously thought we were going to win yesterday too. So if it's the NFC South that we see first round of the playoffs, we are handling that.
Okay. Now, if you don't handle it, I don't want you to hide. I don't want you to miss the show if y'all.
I'll be right back on here. I'm on here today. I'll be right back on here.
You gonna be back. You gonna be back on Tuesday after Christmas, after y'all lose to the Dolphins. Watch Tyreek Hill go for 150 yards in that defense, and Jalen Waddle, and Raheem Mostert, and Devon Arche. They run the same similar offense as the 49ers do. Mike McDaniel runs the same offense. Y'all gonna stop that?
Yeah. Do I think that we will?
Yes, I'm asking you.
I think that we stop it. I think we stop it enough to where our offense is able to get stuff going.
We'll
that is going to who. All right, look. This is the logic that I've been seeing a lot on Twitter since yesterday, and even at work today, people were trying to bring it up, and it makes no sense. It makes no sense. People all yesterday, all today, all I'm seeing on Twitter is, oh, the Eagles handled the Bills, blah, blah, blah. The Eagles lost to the damn Jets, all right? And what happened when the Cowboys played the Jets?
They did lose to the
Smoked
Jets.
them.
They did lose to the Jets.
Like, that's what I mean. Like, you can use that logic on almost every single team in the NFL. Every team has a bad loss that you should not have lost to. Now, if you think the Bills are a bad loss for the Cowboys, there's no more I can talk. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like, that's not some bad loss to where you can say, like, oh, well, the Eagles handled that part of their schedule. Yeah, well, the Eagles didn't handle the easy part. So what are we talking about? That's my only thing. I understand we lost. We're going to get, shit is going to get talked. That's how it works. It's just how it works. And I get that. I'm not saying that shit can't be talked. I'm just saying if we're going to bring up points, make sure they're logical, like make sure that these are actual sound arguments. I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about what I've seen on Twitter and all this stuff. Like, if you want to compare the teams, you can compare them when they play each other. And what happened? We split it. Now, if you want to compare what happened when the Eagles and the Cowboys played the Niners, I mean,
that's not even a discussion to talk about. They both got the ass whooped. That's nothing to talk about.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, like,
they both hung up 42 on the same team. On the same team.
I think that the only team in the NFC, at least, that has room to legitimately talk shit to anybody and mean it with their chest is the San Francisco 49ers. Because the other top two teams, they smoked by a combined like 55 points or something like that. So, there's not much I can say. I'm not going to defend anything that happened on that field last night, except for the fact that we should have got that fumble on the Stephon Diggs thing, but they lined up too quick. We couldn't get the challenge flag in. But I mean, you can.
This could be the end of Mike McCarthy. This could be the end. It could be.
If he wins,
he got to win the NFC Championship game. He can't just make it there. He got to win something.
No, I think if he makes it to the NFC Championship game, he's sticking around for at least another couple years. Now, if he gets fired, I mean, if he loses, I obviously don't think this is going to happen. But if, like, for some reason we lose first round to an NFC South team, yeah, get him the hell out of here. The issue is we're also going to lose Dan Quinn, and we don't have, like, a legit OC right now. Like, so we'd kind of be without, like, 3 coaches in one off season. That would be pretty tough. But so that, like, that's really the only thing that would make me think that we're not going to get rid of. I mean, he's had great years with us. It's just they always end after the first round. Like, we win the first round, and then what happens? We get smoked.
The same thing he did with Aaron Rodgers. Always got to the NFC Championship game and get blown out by the same team. It was always the Falcons. They had trouble with the Falcons, the Seahawks, the Arizona Cardinals.
Literally every single team in that era, had to go through Lambeau, and they lost. Like the Packers lost at Lambeau in the NFC Championship multiple times. So I agree with you. It doesn't give me like a bunch of confidence that we're gonna be fine in the future. But I will say that I don't think Mike has with the cards he's been dealt. Dak
was hurt 5 games last year. 2 years before that, he's out for the entire year after having a record-breaking 3 games to start. Like, it was just – he's been dealt some shitty cards, but at the same time, he's being dealt shitty cards on one of the most talented teams in the league. So what are you going to do?
I don't think that Prescott's the issue. I think
He's not. He's not. I've been saying he's not. I've been saying that
he's not. The quarterback's not the issue. It's Mike McCarthy. It's not the quarterback. Because who y'all going? If for some odd reason, if Jerry Jones' stupid self decides we don't want Dak no more, which I doubt he won't do that, who else do you have that's better than Dak? Nobody. You don't got nobody better than Dak Prescott.
Yeah, and like
that can get you to the playoffs consistently, but that will never win the Super Bowl.
Well, no one that would be available, you know, and like you want to move. You look in the guys that are in Dak's pay range right now, which he'll get an extension probably next year. Excuse me, but you look at the guys that are getting paid similar amounts to Dak, who's like barely top 7, I think, at this point in yearly salary after all these crazy contracts. The guys that are around him pay-wise are nowhere close to like what I think Dak is. Like maybe once Kyler's fully healthy, but we've never seen Kyler pass the ball like Dak can pass it. Now you can say the same thing to the way Dak can't run like Kyler can run, but what do you want as a preference for your quarterback? I'm going to take Dak Prescott's passing over Kyler Murray's throwing 62%, but also adding 80 yards on the ground. You know, like I'll take one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league this year with the second or third best QBR in the league. I'll take that every single day over a guy that can run. So, and that's just talking about Kyler. There's other guys in that range that I just think Dak is just better than, you know? And so like, you're right. Like what do you do? You can't move on from him and get someone that's better in the same range of pay. And then you have to pay, we just extended Diggs. We got to pay Micah. Deron Bland, luckily, is only in his second year, so we don't have to worry about that for another season. But like a couple years down the road, next season and the season after, we're going to be making some tough decisions when it comes to who we pay and who we don't. And if you don't think Dak Prescott needs to be a centerpiece of that strategy, then I just think we're on completely different pages when it comes to what's best for the Cowboys. Because to your point, to the point I just made, there's no one out there that is available that is going to give you a better chance to win than Dak.
That's all I have for Lambo and Matt's for the sports. Hope you like, comment, and subscribe to Total Pole Nation. We'll catch you later. It's Lambo Matt's for the sports. Y'all have a great night. If you need your merch, go to TotalPoleNation.com. See you later.